Hi, I'm Lucy Ellis, Senior Writer at Script, and I'm here at BioEurope Spring in Barcelona, and I'm joined by Stefan Weber, CEO of Newron, a company focused on CNS diseases and pain disorders, with a licensed product on the market for Parkinson's disease. So thanks for joining us, Stefan.
Thank you for taking me, Lucy.
Maybe we could start with what you're most excited about in your pipeline at the moment.
I have to say that right now today we are probably most excited about the PDUFA date, which is indeed today, March 21, 2017. This is the day that we expect the US FDA to decide on market approval for our Xadago, a Parkinson therapy, which is already approved in Europe, European Union and in Switzerland, and is marketed by our partner Zambon in currently 11 countries. So by tonight, as we hope and are confident to expect, it will also be approved in the United States.
Fantastic. And other than that then, what else is in your pipeline?
Well, excitingly enough, we have two more compounds which are in decisive development stages. And sarizotan for patients with Rett syndrome is currently in a pivotal study. And given that this is an orphan indication and we are targeting no more than 20,000 to 30,000 patients in the US and Europe combined, the one study that we are going to do and currently running, reporting by mid next year in 129 girls, might take us to the next approval drug. Now, differently from safinamide, Xadago for Parkinson's disease, this drug in an orphan indication we would commercialize ourselves in Europe and the United States.
Okay, so it's a different step for the company then?
Absolutely, that could make Newron a commercial business by end of 18, early 19.
And do you have any other big clinical milestones coming up?
Yes, so what we will have besides or beyond today's PDUFA date, obviously is the launch in the United States by our partner US World Meds. Then on sarizotan, the orphan drug, we will see the completion of recruitment by November of this year. And then by mid next year, the readout from that pivotal study. And then we have a third compound, which is called evenamide and is the first add-on therapy in positive symptoms of schizophrenia. It's a completely new treatment paradigm, new mechanism of action, a new chemical entity, all the things that you would like to have. And that will start either by us ourselves or by a partner, a phase 2B in schizophrenia.
And what are the biggest challenges in clinical development in CNS, and particularly indications like schizophrenia, and how do you manage this?
I have to say that there's still too many indications in CNS where we still do not understand what causes the disease and how we could stop it or slow down the progression at least. So there's too many diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson, where we are just working on the symptoms. So that is from time to time frustrating, but what we see as a change over prior years is that more and more attention and money flows into CNS diseases. So on top of all the symptomatic improvements that we are generating, we should in the next years see something which also targets the causes of those diseases once we understand them.
Okay. Brilliant. And you mentioned before then that your orphan products you'd look to commercialize yourself, but what's your clinical strategy around those? Is it different to your other products?
No, I have to say different from a number of other companies. What we do when developing an orphan drug is we go by the absolute standards that the regulatory authorities require, FDA, the Canadian authorities and EMA. And therefore our pivotal study with sarizotan in Rett syndrome will be done double placebo-controlled, 129 patients, 6 months treatment, and then a crossover from placebo patients to treatment. So we are doing it state-of-the-art, and that means that once that one study should come out positive, we have an approval drug without too much discussion with health authorities afterwards.
Why do you think that's so important to make that difference?
I think some companies have taken action in a way that they did just go for approval of a drug based on 10, 15, 20 patients. And we see all the discussion now with regulatory authorities if a drug should be or could be approved based on such small number of patients, no placebo control. And we just don't want to take the risk of many years delay to have to take an extra round afterwards. We just go for the standard from the beginning.
So you're preempting those issues now?
We are preempting them, and we are offering to our shareholders a fair chance. We ask for more money to do those studies, but we also have a much higher probability of success within a reasonable period of time.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you're here at BioEurope, which is a partnering conference. So what's your strategy there?
So safinamide, Xadago for Parkinson, I have to say, is licensed. So for us, this is practically a done deal. And sarizotan, given what I explained before, we will not license, at least not for Europe and the United States, because we will commercialize it ourselves. So we can talk about licensing it for other territories. And then we, for sure, will talk about licensing the schizophrenia asset. Again, new treatment paradigm, new mechanism of action, new chemical entity. Even now, or after phase 2B, is the right time for us to license it, because we will never be able to commercialize it ourselves.
Yeah. So what would a partner have to offer you, and what stage would you look to license?
Schizophrenia is an indication which requires lots, really huge load of financial and human resources, especially as you want a successful drug to be developed in a number of indications in parallel. So it would almost by definition have to be one of the large pharma companies that are still actively developing drugs in schizophrenia. And then we can define which kind of collaboration, which kind of commercial rights are on the table, and where we might have some rights staying with Newron.
And so you're in CNS space. Do you think there's been a renewed interest from investors in that area?
Absolutely.
Especially even though there's been quite large-scale failures recently.
Yes, there has been failures, but we also have seen some success stories. And keep in mind that Xadago safinamide is the first new chemical entity approved in Europe and the United States in a period of more than 10 years. There has been no innovation. In schizophrenia, there has been no fundamental innovation in 30 years. So here we come, small, still small, with 400 million market cap and just two handful of people. Here we come, a small company targeting some real innovative steps, and that is where investors more and more become interested again and understand that a lot of money has gone into cancer, and it is now time to focus again on CNS, and that is right now happening.
Yeah. So what are your goals for the company this year, and then looking further ahead, maybe in the next 5 years?
So for this year, we want to have the perfect solution, either do a phase 2B ourselves or license the schizophrenia compound, and we want good progress on the recruitment of our pivotal study in Rett syndrome. 5 years, we want to be a commercial business with more than one compound in the market commercialized by ourselves, and obviously we want to be one of those companies that have made it beyond $1 billion market cap. Yes.
So big goals, and I hope you get there.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. It was good to speak to you.